We've all heard the stories of World War II, the major battles, the famous generals, the epic scale of the conflict. But what about the stories that were intentionally buried, the horrors that were deliberately forgotten? Today, we're uncovering some of the darkest hidden chapters of the war. In 1994, a shocking discovery was made in a government building in Rome. A locked cabinet, hidden away, contained files detailing hundreds of Nazi massacres across Italy. It became known as the Cabinet of Shame. These weren't battles, they were brutal slaughters of civilians. Take the village of Sant'Anna di Stazzema, where over 500 people, including many children, were systematically murdered. For 50 years, these files and the justice they represented were locked away, gathering dust. The silence was deafening. Meanwhile, in the Balkans, the fascist Ustaše regime in Croatia was carrying out a horrific campaign of ethnic cleansing. Their target? Hundreds of thousands of Serbs, Jews, and Roma. At concentration camps like Jasenovac, often called the Auschwitz of the Balkans, the cruelty was so extreme that it even shocked some Nazi observers. Yet, outside of the region, this genocide remains a footnote in history, overshadowed by other events. But the darkness wasn't confined to one side. History is rarely that simple. The victors also have chapters they'd rather we didn't read. The devastating Allied firebombing of cities like Dresden and Tokyo resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of civilians. There were also documented cases of German prisoners of war being mistreated or even executed after surrendering. These actions often escaped accountability, washed away by the tides of victory. It's a stark reminder that while history is often written by the winners, the truth is far more complex. So why were these stories silenced? After the war, the world quickly shifted into a new conflict, the Cold War. New alliances were needed, and old enemies sometimes became new friends. For the sake of political stability and strategic advantage, inconvenient truths were swept under the rug. Perpetrators were shielded, and justice was sacrificed for diplomacy. Memory was traded for silence. Remembering these forgotten tragedies isn't about assigning blame. It's about honoring the victims and understanding the full, unfiltered truth of our past. Because when we forget history, we risk repeating its darkest moments. If this story resonated with you, please share it, and let us know in the comments what other forgotten histories you believe deserve a voice. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to help us continue telling these important stories.